I have with me Jamie, who's project lead on Stellaris.
Yeah, that's me. I am Jaymore on the forums. I'm from Canada originally. I've been with Paradox almost a year now, and I handle basically the administration and planning side of the project, not the fun stuff. Not Martin is of course the game director. He's the creative vision behind the whole project. My job is to make sure that we actually deliver something on time and on budget, so you guys get something to play with and enjoy. And in my free time, I've been a fan of the company for 10 years. I'm so honored to work here, and I figured I might as well show you my face on the stream. So I'm pleased to meet you all.
It's very nice to have you here.
Cool, man.
To finally have a face of Jamie, the guy that makes sure that Stellaris updates doesn't take a year because there's a billion things to add.
Here's the thing. It's always a fight between time, resources, and if we said yes to every great idea we have, of which we have no shortage, you'd get a perfect game in 30 years.
Yeah.
I want to give you guys something that you can enjoy, that we can constantly build on and improve, and I think we're achieving that. I'm super lucky to have an awesome, strong team. It makes my job a lot easier.
Fantastic.
So,
so we are upgrading the world. You are making cyborgs, and I am making energy.
Okay.
That is what we're doing.
Cool.
And just before the stream, we were looking at these guys, the Kroll Galactic Kingdom. We'll go over to my screen. Thank you. And they are equivalent, but they don't have many friends. They have the Rutherian, but the Rutherians are inferior.
I just don't like the look of that guy. He's eyeballing me. He's asking for it. Yeah. You got something to say?
He looks so mean. He's also spiritualist, which we don't like.
Not having that.
No.
Not having that. See, all of this free will and self-determination is highly inefficient.
Yeah.
See, getting into the RP of this game already.
They do have some independence things as well.
Are they guaranteeing? Are they guaranteed, or are they guaranteeing? They are guaranteeing. So if we attack them, who's going to come in to help?
That's a good question.
I think just their ally.
The Kroll, the Rutherian.
Yeah. Can we, though, because I'm new and I'm jumping in? Can we spend some time just looking? I can look around and do some logistics work and see how my empire's doing and figure out my fleets and all that.
Absolutely.
Cool.
We'll take the Kroll on in a bit.
Yeah,
but
sounds reasonable.
Just need to figure out, because it's been a while since I'm gonna unpause. It's been a while since I played as well, because of course last week we had the very controversial FTL stream.
Yes, that was a big one, and it was like most big jobs, it's a hard but necessary thing.
Yeah.
We really are not doing this on a whim. I really want to emphasize that we're doing this to unlock massive future potential, and I'm playing the dev build that has been hinted at briefly, and it feels vastly better in a variety of ways. I want you all to know that we're gamers too. We're mega hardcore. I've been a fan of Paradox for 10 years, no joke. And that's why I wanted to work here. That's why I came here from Canada and left everything behind.
Fantastic.
So we want this to be the best space game ever, and we're working on making that. All right, let's see where we're at.
I think that's what because I come from a background in IT. Before I started streaming for a living, and it's just it's so nice working at a company like a game development company, because everyone is so passionate about what they do. You don't get that in finance.
It's a massive cliche, but if you love what you're doing, it really doesn't feel like work. And I worked in like normal regular jobs after I graduated university for almost 10 years, but I always had in the back of my mind, one day I'm going to do something I actually care about. One day I'm actually going to love what I do. And that's why I feel so blessed to be here. It's awesome. It's awesome. Alrighty, what are we at here? What are we short on? I need...
Trokia asks, am I able to ask questions about the dev diaries during this stream, or is there another stream for that? You can ask. I definitely won't be able to answer anything hard.
I didn't write them, but I sit next to Martin every day at work. We talk about every major decision in the game. If I can answer, I will try. So please pass them on to me.
So, yeah. People are memeing in chat. Yes, Wiz is sick today. That's why Jamie's here. Why he has graced us with his appearance.
Yeah, he came in briefly this morning, but he was in really bad shape, and I said, "Look, dude, just go home, get well. I need my game director healthy, not only to avoid infecting the rest of us, but you can't do good work when you're distracted and sick.
No,
it's just the way of things." Alrighty, where are we at here? Do I need to build anything? It seems like his empire is pretty well developed. I don't see any undeveloped systems or anything.
No.
Just make sure that everything is where I want it to be.
Yeah, I think we focused on expanding my empire last time.
Yeah.
Which would be...
He's got a science ship stranded up way up here.
Oh.
I don't know if it doesn't have any orders. I'm going to put it on auto explore because we probably have more interesting stuff to do. Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, we do have some unexplored stuff because we yeah, the people that used to be up here they're kind of still here. The Bruggen, they really hated us.
Yeah, well, look at them now. I hope they enjoy. I hope they enjoy their hatred on their little backwater planets.
We have a question here about the FTL changes. Will fallen empires be like normal empires when it comes to FTL?
That's a good question. Actually, I don't know. The design is still being worked on. It's, as I said, it's a massive update. I assume Martin would probably say something about it in a future dev diary, but I don't want to make something up if I don't know.
Yeah.
I do know that we are changing a ton. It's huge, and I've played the dev version. It's great. I really love it.
Yeah. Like, this update is nowhere near ready for release, and we're already starting dev diaries, which should tell people a little bit about this update.
Yeah, the thing about it is...
Read between the lines.
The thing about it is we're trying to build a base for future expansion of the game so that we can continue to make new and interesting content. Yeah. And the 3 FTL type idea was great on paper. The problem is it made it so hard to balance the game because it was the gameplay became so asymmetrical, and especially when you're the defender in a war, just when someone's fleets can just magically teleport inside your territory, it's incredibly frustrating trying to chase them down. If they don't want to fight you, they can escape at will. And if they do want to fight you, you can't escape. You can't lose.
Yeah, no, it's the worst playing on a hyperlane only, and then, well, Awakened Empire comes along and they have warp drives, and you're screwed.
And the objective here is people say like, oh, there's no lanes, there's no highways in space. The objective is to give some idea, some potential for strategy. And what I mean by that is you're not going to know exactly where they're going to go, but you can think logically and figure out places, okay, I can ambush him here, I can catch him here. Strategy is about having imperfect information and then making a rational decision that maximizes your chances of victory. I don't think it should just be a speed-based clickfest.
No.
And that's what Paradox is famous for. We're famous for games that challenge your mind.
Yeah, it's the grand strategy. It's not the grand clicking.
Precisely, precisely. And so for me, I think the changes are really positive. I've been playing the dev build like crazy the last week. Already, a lot of the systems feel really mature and interesting. I can't wait to show it to you guys, but I can't until I can.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Okay, I could actually colonize a planet inside my system here.
Oh,
Azale. I could get one going.
Fantastic. Let's see what I can colonize.
Blorg. Space
ooh.
Colony ship.
Yeah, I don't want to colonize Prophet's Retreat. That's
And he's got his transport fleet in over there, but I should probably...
Were you, is this the planet that you were colonizing? Because that's a holy... No,
I'm going after this one.
Because you do have this holy world here. I just want to make sure we don't get screwed.
I tried that once or twice when I was young and new to the game, and I didn't attempt that again.
I actually played the multiplayer at home with a friend recently, and we wanted to poke the bear, so to say.
Yeah.
And we had a holy world nearby, and we thought, well, the Fallen Empire can't get through this other empire because they're spiritual isolationists or something like that. And so what if we just colonize this holy world, and then they'll just jump over the hyperlanes because they have jump drives? And we waited for the longest time in war with this Fallen Empire, and they just never came.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Speaking of, the thing that folks might be interested in is we are doing a lot with trying to improve the AI behaviors in the game, making them react more logically so that you can make plans against them. Each AI empire should have like a sort of distinct personality where you can sort of figure out what their agenda is and what they're trying to do. Obviously, it's a long-term thing, but
and something that's going to be ongoing. Over time.
The challenge with AI, and I often see people mentioning the AI doing stupid things, and to be honest, it does. Our games are massively complex, and there's so much going on. It's hard to program for every possible combination of empire types, every possible action the player might do. We do try to make it as robust as possible.
Yeah, but it's incredibly complicated to make AI for these kinds of games.
Sure is.
I mean, AI in general is hard, but these kinds of games, especially when there's so much they could do at any given point, and then you don't want the game to run at 1 FPS on the highest, on the hottest possible overclocked processor.
Yeah, exactly.
So here we have a question about the new nebulas and such. Will sensor arrays be able to see through them? Or can nothing sense through a nebula?
That's a good question. It's going to come down to balance testing, I should think. Of course, we want megastructures to feel special. We don't want them to be a master key that basically means game over for anyone who doesn't have them, though. So that's going to be, again, a big design question. My biggest thing is providing the tools, resources, and time for my guys to do the best work. I don't make game design decisions. That's
you make production.
That's it. Time and budget, what we can afford with the time that we have.
Yeah.
And it's usually time is the biggest restrictor. Okay. Alrighty. Maybe I should queue up. He's got a ton of stored
energy,
stored stuff here.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if I shouldn't queue up some robot construction.
Yeah, that's
because we won't have time to do it if we get stuck in a war.
No.
Okay.
Let's build some Blondors 2.0.
Roblorg 1.1.
Yeah, I go with a little bit more grand version numbering. Every new Blondor is a new version. He goes incremental.
That's actually similar to a debate we had on the team about the versioning of this new update that we've been talking about.
I know.
Some people,
I named the video 1.9, and you were like, "Yeah, we don't actually know what we're gonna call it."
Yeah, we have to decide that because based on the scale of the changes, you know.
Maybe this is Stellaris 2.
Well, I don't want to call it 2 because that means a full sequel, which we're not at yet. But one day, one day. We've been really happy with how Stellaris is done, and we think it definitely has a ton of more potential for growth, and I'd love to do a sequel one day.
I mean, yeah. There's a... I don't know if you've listened to the Paradox Business podcast with Shams and Daniel. But they were talking about, I forget the exact topic, but I just want to mention the quote from Shams, which was, "I hope that one day we're big enough that we're too big to make a Stellaris sequel." I was like, whoa, that's some spicy talk right there.
Oh man, those bold words from Shams. Shams, if you don't know him, he's a straight shooter, man. He doesn't mess around.
Oh, yeah.
I like that guy.
Oh, the Sura Corp was destroyed in the Unix system. Let's see what.
Oh my goodness. Food tile won't be needing that. Food is entirely inefficient and should be replaced by planetary shield generators.
Well, yeah. I mean, it could be good if you get new people to upgrade, but I guess we're some ways away from that.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say to the chat, if you have questions that you want to direct to us, make sure to add @Paradox Interactive to your post, because then they get highlighted here, and it's easier to me to see between all the discussions. Which I love that we have discussions in chat between people. That doesn't necessarily concern us. Will we be able to research technologies that are able to take advantage of new environmental features?
I would think that would be awesome. Like if you want to go for a sort of terrain-based empire where you like focus on ambushes and things like that in rough galactic terrain, I think that would be super cool. The question, of course, is can we make it work with the time that we've got?
Absolutely.
Our first priority is to make the things that we've already committed to work as awesome and as stable as possible, and then when we have time at the end of an update, when we're getting ready, that's when we put in nice-to-haves. That's when we decide from the big backlog of tasks that we have, ideas that have come up in planning, okay, well, this would be really cool. We know we can afford it now because we've done all the big stuff. That's when we start putting in the bonuses. So I think that's a good idea. I think that would be really cool.
All right.
But no promises.
Exactly. I mean, that's generally how this goes. It's like that's a really interesting idea.
Yeah. The way that I describe my work is mine is the art of the possible. Martin's job is to dream up the most perfect universe, the most perfect game he can imagine. Mine is to actually drill it down to something we can actually put out. And
I thought you were going to say to squash his hopes.
No, I'm a gamer too, guys. I want to emphasize that. I want the best possible game, but I also want it released now, not in 2038.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 2048 alongside Victoria 3.
Yeah. I'm not touching that one. That's loaded. He tried to set a trap for me just there.
Oh,
all right.
Damn it. Almost worked. All right. Actually, let's build up some... All these new worlds don't have their spaceports.
Actually, that's a fair point. I should check for that as well. I'm a military history guy, and it is super, super important to make sure that you have your logistical base organized before you start a war, because it's a lot more difficult to do it when people are flying through your territory, blowing up everything.
Oh, we found the Stellar Devourer. That's, well, great. Fantastic. So we have the dreadnoughts down here, where Seeknor is hanging out.
Yeah.
And we have the Stellar Devourer up here.
Do you know if Martin prefers guns or laser or missile spaceport? Because I don't want to mess up his empire too much.
I don't actually know. Chat, do you know?
You
know what? Go with your preference. You're the guest here,
well,
and Martin will have
to... Let me just see what his ship designs have. Guns. Lasers.
Yeah,
lasers.
I think we're fighting a shield-heavy empire recently.
Okay.
Might have changed things around a bit. Let's see. Yes.
Construction complete. System survey complete.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a logistics guy in games. I tend to... I'm kind of like Montgomery in World War II. He only attacked when he had every possible advantage, when he'd made sure that everything was possibly in his favor, and then he attacked with overwhelming strength. The advantage of doing it that way is you usually only have to attack once.
Yeah.
If you attack with just too little strength, you pay all the price in terms of casualties, but you don't get the result. If you attack with massive, overwhelming strength, you get the result and you minimize your own losses.
I mean, that's how I play Stellaris. So, yeah.
No, concentration of force, man.
Only it doesn't pathetic.
We are trying to do something about the Doom stack, which we know is a problem, where the single massive fleet is highly dominant. We want to get in systems that encourage players to potentially fight on multiple fronts, to be able to have a viable commerce rating navy instead of just a giant fleet of battleships, that sort of thing. Yeah. These are things that are long-term objectives we're going to try to gradually improve. Again, it comes down to time and resources. It's not that we have a ton of ideas. We just got to find a way to make them possible.
There's a guy here that wants you to replace me on these streams.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think he says this with the best intentions, but...
This is the first time I've actually ever done anything like this, folks. So if
I think you're doing fine.
Well,
I think you're doing very well.
Thanks. I hope I'm not promising too much. Honestly, in my job, I've gotten to the point where it's safer just to promise very little and deliver everything than to promise everything and then have to say, sorry, guys, can't do it. That's really what you've got to do in my role is you don't want to be the guy who says no, but you want to be the guy who says yes to the important stuff that we can afford in terms of time and resources that we've got to get a releasable product. And it's a challenge. It's a big challenge because I want to say yes to everything in my heart. I really do, because I think it's all really cool stuff. But if we said yes to everything, we'd have no game, or we'd have a perfect game in a million years.
Exactly.
Cool. So I'm at fleet cap. I think I've queued up everything I can build on my planets.
All right. Well,
let me just see where my
fleet cap.
Let's see where my ships are at. Yeah. Do I need to upgrade anything? Actually, let me just see. How are we doing on time here? We still got plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Let me see if
if we go too long, we have this magical voice that comes in our ears and tells us, you know, it's time to stop.
Yeah. Okay.
Who is more technologically advanced, the Curators or Fallen Empires? Fallen Empires?
I think...
They generally have more force, at least.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you can have all the technology in the world, but if you're very passive about it, you're more of an observer than a player.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Okay, so... traditions. Which tree? It looks like Martin was working on the Supremacy tree?
Yeah, I think it's because we've been warring a lot. So yeah, Supremacy was a good choice.
Army damage increased by 25%.
Yeah.
One of the nice things that we did that I really liked is we, in the last update, we wrote alternate versions. Now, mechanically, these effects are the same, but we wrote alternate versions of the texts that would fit more with robot or hive mind empires.
It's really nice and kind of immersive to have different things.
Yeah, and for something like this, where it's mainly just text, but it just adds a little bit of flavor that otherwise wouldn't be there, I think it's definitely effort well spent, and I'm happy to do as much of that as we can.
I agree. If you have any more suggestions, post them on the forums. And like small little things like that are quick, that someone can do quite easily, or hopefully do quite easily. I think, would you say that those are more, or how would you rate them on appreciation, depending on like compared to like these big?
As a project lead, I love bang for the buck. And what I mean by that is something that gives good player value, but isn't massively expensive in terms of dev time and dev cost. Bang for the buck means I can do cool stuff and still have resources left over to do the unsexy, under the hood stuff, that maintaining the game and keeping it running.
All right.
Doing stuff that we want to do for the long run.
So there you go. If you have small things, definitely post them on the forums.
You can post the big ideas too.
Yeah.
Just because we don't reply to every thread doesn't mean we're not reading it. We're just busy people. We don't have time to reply individually to every thread.
Oh, absolutely.
But don't ever believe that your posts have no value. I can say that sometimes when I get into a 200-page comment thread, we start to get tired after about page 70.
Yeah.
But
or I mean, in the case of the latest dev diary, 4,000.
Oh goodness, that was massive. I mean, we knew that the changes of this magnitude would definitely be controversial.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if you want to get forward, if you want to make your way like into the future, create a living product that has a lifespan, that's not a one and done sort of hit and drop and patch twice and abandoned like most games. You need to be able to clear out dead wood that's holding back the development of your game. And it's a hard choice to do because people get highly emotionally invested in a certain way of playing. All I'm going to say is please play it and have an open mind. It'll be a free update for everyone. It's not going to be paywalled or anything.
No.
And if you don't like it, you always have the option to roll back to a version prior to the changes. And we've always been very dedicated to maintaining that ability so that people can play at the benchmark that they choose.
Yeah.
Right? Because everyone has a different play style, and we try to give people as many valid play styles as possible while still creating room for growth in the future.
Indeed.
Cool.
So we do actually have a suggestion about the tradition flavor text.
Yeah.
Where let's see, Fanatic Purifiers and Isolationists share their flavor texts with hive minds.
Do they?
According to Dan Daniel LP, I think Dan Daniel that you should go to the forums and post about this, and someone will take a look at it.
Yeah, that seems strange. It might just honestly it might be a bug. Might be a bug. Send me a screenshot and we'll do what we can. Cool. Okay, so
all right. Are you ready for war?
Let me. I got a person who's in orbit but not actually assisting research, which is not very efficient.
Let's see how these guys are doing. They.
Oh, and my colony ship is done. Let me get that going as well.
Fantastic.
I'm going to.
Just going to.
I got to tell you, when I play our games, I pause anytime I do logistics stuff. Anytime I'm designing ships or getting ready for anything, like doing logistical work in my empire, I always pause, and I need that. I desperately need it.
Speed 5 with many pauses, kind of.
Yeah. My finger just hovers over that space bar, and Or is this the one that I don't want?
That's
Holy World. Oh
yeah,
shit! Yeah, don't do that. Okay.
I'm gonna pause so you can.
Hold on. What was the planet I want? It was this one.
No,
was
that's
that one
Holy
holy
World
as
as well.
well?
I think it was closer to your capital.
Was it this one, or is that in your space? That is in your space.
Wait, where did it go?
I thought there was. What? I thought for sure there was one in here somewhere.
Huh.
This is what happens with the bigger empires. There's so many systems going on that you lose some of the fine detail control that you have in the early game. But that's actually, as a historian, I graduated from, got a history degree in 2005.
Oh.
That's why I'm a fan of this company, because they're the only people who make games that are targeted at weirdos like me. The story of empires is the bigger they get, the less efficient they become.
Yeah.
I mean, the Roman Empire in its late stages was so bloated and inefficient. I mean, it took weeks to ride from one end to the other.
Yeah.
That it started to fall apart from internal stress. And when you magnify that across interstellar distances, you can imagine a vast stellar empire having the same problems with coordinating across these inconceivable distances of space.
Absolutely.
Okay, I don't think that planet is there anymore, or I was probably looking at the wrong map.
Or
So-
maybe a sector.
They might have,
So
actually a
taken
sector
it.
might have grabbed it, so I'm going to leave it in orbit so at least I'm not paying upkeep on it.
All right.
As much, and
I'm gonna check out.
maybe we'll grab some space that has nice colonizable worlds. How about that?
Yeah. Actually, these guys that we beat the hell out of last time
Yeah.
have decided that, you know, these pigmen look really nice and we're gonna be friends.
Have they that?
So they have joined in a defensive pact there.
Okay.
They won't be much of an issue.
Tell you what, do you want it, because they're in your sector of
Yeah.
space, if you just crush them as fast as you can, I
Absolutely.
will fight defensively on this side
Yeah,
and try to hold these guys off until you can join me.
I think that's a fantastic
Okay, now let me just get my fleet in a good blocking position along the border.
Yeah.
What
I'm gonna
hyperspace
just-
method? Is there a way you can find out their hyperspace method?
We're all in hyperspace, I think.
Okay, so I don't need to worry about them teleporting past the block
No.
points. So I'm thinking if I go here,
Mm-hmm.
that's the only way they can get into our space. They
Yeah.
have to go through here. So I can form a nice block
that's
here,
fantastic.
or I could potentially, that's an outpost.
Eh,
And actually, I might
yeah.
want to defend here because that's actually one of my worlds.
Yeah, that's a built-up world as well. so
Okay,
you
if I
probably
can
wanna-
draw them onto the fortifications of that spaceport and take, and they can take some damage from that while our fleet's fighting, that will work.
Alright, so if I take that,
Okay,
then we'll.
so I'm gonna get my fleet in orbit here. We're on the move.
All right, I'm just gonna set up these. Oops, that's not what I want. That's what he wants. See how much we can take from these guys. Oh, we can take a lot actually.
I want you all to know that I'm gonna watch this after and read through all of these comments.
Yeah.
Because when we're playing, we have to focus on the screen and on the
Yeah,
camera.
yeah.
But I am really interested in what you have to say.
Let's take this planet for me, and let's see if we can find another planet.
Okay, so
Cheap one.
I'm moving my fleet into that system. I'm gonna keep. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put my armies down so they don't
Yeah.
get caught in space. I should get
There
them
we go.
close. Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna just move because I have the Federation fleet as well, so this should be super quick.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna move my
Oh,
armies
crap.
to this border world and then put them down.
Can I make a feature request right here?
What's that?
Like save a war template, because I just doshed out all the things, and then we're like, I'm gonna move my things, and it just.
Yeah. We are actually, if you read today's dev diary, we are redoing the entire War and Peace thing,
Well, fantastic.
and I think it's going to be much, much better.
Yeah, I think everything in this update is gonna just be better.
Let me tell you, it's a small thing, but one of the first times, the first times I played Paradox games,
Yeah.
I'd come from a background of playing things like the first Rome Total War, things that were kind of soft strategy games, like great
Yeah.
games, but like not hard strategy games like ours. And the idea that you had to actually negotiate for a settlement for a war was like, I was like,
It's really cool.
wow, it's like real history. Because in real history, yeah, you can physically occupy the enemy's whole country, but you usually don't get to keep it afterwards. There's a
No.
negotiation process. I mean, Treaty of Westphalia,
Yeah.
1648, things like that. I find stuff like that amazing. The idea that you had to have a legitimate reason to go to war and you couldn't just do it whenever
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
wanted.
Casus Belli.
Amazing. Amazing. As you can tell, I'm a little bit of a nerd for this stuff. And
I think most people here are.
I used to apologize for this part of my personality and try to hide it.
But now it's your job.
Now it's my job.
So yeah, I mean people who have a high interest in history do generally like it's a major perk when you oh my god.
Oh my.
Alpha.
These enclaves are just having a bad decade.
Yeah, I mean it's you know I'm not a huge fan of them, but yeah they're not having the greatest time. But yeah, no, it's a major perk when you apply to Paradox. I think that you have maybe even a history degree.
There's a lot of high-level nerds in this company, and we have a very active, like, off-topic history channel where we just talk about random history stuff on Slack. It's the place for me. I feel really happy. I was used to being the weird guy at every other job before.
All right, I think I'm
okay,
good enough to go to war.
What I've done, I've got my fleet down here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight defensively here. I'll try to draw them onto the fortifications and wear them down. If they overwhelm me, I'll try to rebuild in the center. But if you can just focus on crushing,
I'm gonna crush these guys.
Crush
really
them as fast as possible, and then rejoin me down here.
They have 4 worlds, and that's nothing.
Yeah.
So I just need to set this up again. Yeah, let's see that to me. And
Martin, if you're watching this at home, if we lose horribly, it's all his fault.
That, you know, that may actually be true. If I'm not quick enough, then yeah, it will be a bad time.
Well, the thing is we're planning to fight a war along what's called interior lines. And
something just happened. Okay, let's pause. Yeah. I think they oh my god, these guys left. They're not in a, or
they abandoned the pact?
They are in a federation status now.
Who are they with?
With these guys. Maybe, yeah, something like that.
So does that put them in the war still, or?
Yeah, it does. Okay, it just kind of weirded out because things change around. Oh, it means I can't take land from them. If because I think they're.
So do we have to declare on the?
Well, yeah. Let's see. Things got a little bit weird here. Yeah, no, I think it's because we declare war on these guys, and these guys will be pulled in through Federation status. I'm a little bit unclear on how this works.
It could be like 1914. Just pull the trigger, see what happens. Nothing could possibly go wrong, man. It's just Serbia.
Oh my god. Oh, all right. Well, I guess the Roblorg will get all the stuffs. So let's add.
Everything has transpired according to my design.
Well,
I hope you all are stoked for the new Star Wars, because we sure are. Oh man.
Oh yeah. I gave. My dad had his birthday recently, and I gave him as a gift that we're gonna go see Star Wars together. You know.
Yeah.
Have a nice steak dinner and then go see Star Wars.
The first movie I remember seeing, and I have a conscious memory of, was Return of the Jedi. It was in theaters. It was 1984. I was 5 years old, and I didn't fully understand it, but I knew that something desperately important was happening, and it set me down the dark path from which I have never turned aside.
Nice.
The dark side is a path to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Let's see, what else do we want?
Okay, why is my fleet not? Why is my fleet not? Oh, they're landing right now. Okay.
Yeah, it's also paused while I figured this out.
I want to get my ship. I want to get my transports down so they don't get caught in space while I'm fighting defensively, and then we can transition to the offensive once we crush their fleet.
Oh, well, we don't need this. Cool.
Some people like to sort of ignore the enemy fleet and just target their worlds, and that turns war into basically a race of smash and grab.
Yeah.
I don't really like that.
No.
I like the idea of destroying the enemies. I'm very Napoleonic in that sense. Destroy the enemy's army in the field, and then you win the terrain by default. You can just walk in.
All right, I've declared war, so you need to vote yes because we're in a federation.
Okay.
They're fighting. Stop fighting.
Stop fighting!
That's so good.
Listen,
all right.
yeah, if they stopped fighting and just surrendered, it would be better for everyone.
So let's do this. I'm gonna come down with the Federation fleet as well.
Okay, they've got about 10,000.
Right there. Well, I have big.
Yeah.
They don't have much in their space right now. They do have some military stations, which Martin and I have already gone to. You know what? We got wrecked by that. By the guys that used to be here.
We are fighting on what historians call interior lines, and what that means is you're fighting mostly inside your own territory.
Yeah.
Traditionally, that has meant that you can benefit from friendly civilians who can give you intelligence and food. You use your own road network without bridges that are blown up and all that.
Yeah.
That is the defender's big strategic advantage. You can usually move more freely and easily inside your own territory. So I will fight defensively on interior lines here, try to draw them into a fleet action with my star base contributing, and you just crush these dudes up north.
Well, they're not actually in the war even, so
oh, cool.
It's fine.
We should have redeployed before we declared then. Oh dear.
Head
for Mintaka if you can.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna hold Vana here.
Yeah.
If they decide to go the other way, I might struggle to catch them.
Yeah. I think these guys, because it said they were gonna be in the war, but they aren't. So.
Okay.
I don't know.
Diplomacy is confusing, folks. You never know what people are gonna do.
Exactly. They probably just said nah. Oh, they were giving association status.
Full-on history lesson. We need this dude every week. I'm flattered, guys. I really am.
Aw.
Mostly, I just exhaust and exasperate my team members by finding a parallel to World War II in literally everything.
There are only a few things I'm passionate about. Those are history, paradox games, and Star Wars.
I can live with that.
It's a good comment by M. Bulche.
That's it, man.
All right, let's see.
The only things that matter.
Okay,
they're making menacing movements on the border, but they're not making any sign of attacking. They're just moving their fleets around. So if you can get down and reinforce, if they're not looking like they want to fight, then we can hit them together.
I have both the Federation fleet and my own fleet on the way.
Research going.
So we have a question here coming in. What's your favorite game ever?
That's really unfair question. The reason I say that is just like if you ask what's my favorite album of all time.
Yeah.
I listen to different albums when I'm in different moods. I mean, sometimes I want to play like a really deep RPG with a ton of story and deep characterization. Other times I want to play something that's a total sandbox where I set the rules and I create my own emergent narrative through the gameplay. It really depends on my mood. So you'd really have to be more specific about genre, and then I could probably answer you. But I will tell you that Witcher 3 is the best RPG ever made, and System Shock 2 is the scariest game I ever played, and I love the Wing Commander series back in the day. Mountain Blade is awesome for the open world freedom of it, and I'm so looking forward to the sequel.
Yeah.
I have 1,000 hours in Elite Dangerous because that game is crack.
Oh, yeah.
I actually hate the game. It's frustrating and punitive, but I have 1,000 hours in it because apparently I hate my own life.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, I have a lot of favorite games. It depends on, it really depends on the
so we have a more specific question here. What's your favorite Paradox game? Because you've been playing Paradox game for 10 years, you said.
Yeah. I got to say that in terms of the depth of features and how accurately it reflects real. I love Stellaris, don't get me wrong, I really do. But I am a history guy, and for the depth of features and the way that it makes real-world history make sense, like the chaos of that period suddenly seems like it has a rationale.
Yeah.
I got to say I love EU Form. I really do. I love that.
Keep Blondie on. Kick the guy who thinks Witcher 3 is the best RPG ever.
Well, it's the best. I would say that the best for me, I love the story, the voice acting, the fact that the player choice matters, how beautiful it was. I'm an architecture nerd.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in Novigrad and you don't see like Hansa trade cities in the northern Baltic in like the 1500s, well, oh man. Oh.
All right, should we hop in here on Ival?
Okay, so yeah.
Let's
hold on.
Ruin this suckers.
Where do we want to target? Should I just aim for the sun and we'll meet there?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get my fleet here.
Actually, they have an FTL inhibitors. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so just go.
Yeah.
Okay, on the move.
All right, fantastic. I'm going in with both my own fleet and the Federation fleet.
Oh, it's on now.
Fantastic. They're absolutely destroyed. I should probably have moved down my armies as well.
Research
now that I think
complete.
about it.
Oh wow, you just wrecked them totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic.
We plan to take this system, so I shouldn't do too much infrastructure damage.
Probably no.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be your system after a while, so.
Yeah, let me get my armies to go on then.
Yeah, I should probably move down my armies as well.
On the way.
I'm gonna just move them in Taka for the time being. And you are now the Federation leader.
What?
Yep.
Wow, that's like just how I got this job.
Research complete.
Just kind of automatically it just happened.
Okay. He's got a... I can't tell the strength, but in Bintu to the south, he's got a fleet that might potentially sneak in behind us.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll keep an eye on the galaxy view if you want to watch the battle in the system.
Fantastic.
If you need me to land my armies, I can. Otherwise, I'll keep them in space for the next attack.
Yeah.
Let me know.
I think I set the Federation fleet to bomb the... I'm just going to go and take out this place.
Was the term "bomb them into the Stone Age" used?
Yes, actually.
Does it smell like victory?
I mean, they're pigs, so it smells like bacon.
Oh! I'm hungry.
Is
it cannibalism? No, it's only cannibalism if you eat your own species.
Yeah,
if you eat another intelligent species like a dolphin or whatever,
it's fine.
It's just delicious, right?
I mean,
Awesome.
it's maybe morally reprehensible depending on your morals.
That's all the clearance I need. Say no more. Okay, do you know what I'm thinking? This system is smashed. There's no fleet there. Before this guy moves off and we have to chase him.
Yeah.
Let's go get him.
All right. Well, you can take your fleet and the Federation fleet and go for that.
Okay. I'm gonna get him.
Ruined this place, and I'm gonna come down. We have their capital right there. Are you landing your armies on
should
Ravensburg? Yeah, I think so.
Okay, hold
so
on. Can you pause it just a sec?
Yeah, so we can get that war score going.
Okay, and land them. Okay.
More favorite game questions coming in here. What's your favorite anime dating sim?
Oh, God. They're going to try to get me to say that tank dating simulator that came out last year. And you'd think it would be relevant to my interests. I did live in Japan for 4 years.
Oh, so double interests.
But I'm not a weeb. Sorry. It's okay if you're a weeb, though. I got love for us all. Everyone should, you know what? Choose your life. It doesn't matter what you're into as long as you're into it all the way with true passion and dedication.
As long as you're not ashamed of who you are,
no, that's
it's all
it.
fine.
You can't combat your own nature and survive for long, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, yeah, no, this.
So if you're a weeb, rock that shit, man. Seriously, be yourself. Don't live life for other people. It's the best advice anyone ever gave me. Okay, that fleet has pretty decisively smashed. They're gone. I don't think they have any other fleets in space. Do you want me to start bombing this one down? Because I can do that, and it can save some time.
Absolutely. I have my armies on the move. They were moving up from the Bruggen, so
Research complete.
they are a little bit behind. Yeah. Oh. I just saw their army in the system. Where did they go? They went to Ival. Yeah, they're going to... your army's gonna get smashed now.
Okay, hold on.
Let's see if we can go and save them, I think is...
Are they... Hold on, are they not landed yet?
They have not landed yet. They're almost...
Oh,
well,
dude.
yeah, and the fortifications is all back up, so...
Oh, no. Shit, should I run?
Yeah, that thing should definitely run. We should take our fleets into that system, though.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me just get organized here. Run away.
A-Spec wants to recruit you for his YouTube channel.
I don't think I can move. I got the fleet select. Oh, they're in no, they're in combat already. Okay, they're gone. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. It was also paused.
Fleet lost.
Yeah, there goes the army. Okay. And I spent all this money on these nice mechs, and they got blown up in space.
Well, I have my armies coming down, so I think it's going to be fine.
It's a good thing I control a vast interstellar empire where I can just mine worlds until they're Swiss cheese and move on. Otherwise, that would have been really expensive.
Yeah, you are capped on everything but influence. See how my planets are doing.
That's the thing I'd like to do, just personally, is have more things to spend your resources on so that you don't basically exist in a state of perpetual cap at the end of the game. Their fleet just disappeared. Where'd they go?
I think they may have retreated. I did take some losses there.
Oh, those buggers.
But, you know,
all right.
It's fine. Just gonna build some... I have unrest somewhere. Oh, it's because my patrol drones ran out.
Okay. Do you have an army going somewhere, or should I start rebuilding one?
I'm gonna pause. Just need to reactivate my patrol drones everywhere.
Actually, I do have an assault army here.
All right.
I will put it in space.
Because mine is huge and also pretty ready to go. Have you taken down the fortifications on Ravensborough? No.
Not nearly, but I'm gonna get the fleet there so that they're.
I'm gonna take my transport fleet there as well. There we go. Yeah, I have 32 friendly robots coming. They should probably get a general as well. Wow, that is a great selection. It's cheaper, and more experience. Or I could just get this guy, because I had 4 generals. Never mind.
Sometimes you don't get the generals you need, you just get the generals you've got.
Well,
that's why you're stuck with me, folks. No, I will tell you this, though. I've been a gamer my whole life. I take this extremely seriously. This is serious business for me. I'm in the business of fun. People have a limited amount of money and time. We want to give them the best possible way to spend it. So this is a labor of love for me, and I'm happy to be able to show my face a little bit and get out there, because my job is largely anonymous. I'm mostly behind the scenes writing mails and being in long meetings. You know.
You were saying before that you wanted to during the Synthetic Dawn launch stream, you wanted to come down and be like, hey.
I wanted to be down here and just put a wave out, but I was literally upstairs with my finger hovering over a button waiting to publish. But it sounds silly, but literally sometimes it comes down to just that.
Yeah. The sacrifices we make.
Hey, I love what I do. Not every day's easy. Oh man, they're getting messed up.
All right. Yeah.
Their fortifications are gone. We can land at any time.
I'm moving in and landing right now. So.
How many defensive armies do they have?
Almost nothing, I assume.
Not a ton. You can probably take them, I should think.
Yeah. That's no problem. I have 34 robots. I don't think I can land my entire army that I sent down there. No, I can. All right. Yeah. It's not even a contest.
Yeah, air superiority counts.
And boom.
There you go.
Fantastic.
If you own space and can rain nuclear fire anywhere on the surface, it's defending a planet would be difficult.
All right, I'm gonna move into bin 2 and see if I can take that planet as well.
An interesting thing that I learned just a little while ago, is that the Americans did a strategic bombing survey after World War II, and they found that the year of the heaviest bombing, 1944, was the year of highest German war production. Now, a lot of that had to do with the Germans really committing to a total war, which they had not done previously because they were afraid of the economic and morale damage to the civilian population that would cause. But strategic bombing, with the technology they had then, was really inefficient. It did not really dramatically damage factories. What it did damage was the synthetic oil industry, which was highly vulnerable to bombs because oil burns, and also the rail system. It doesn't matter how many tanks and guns you're producing if you can't get them to the field.
Absolutely.
So it was a very mixed effect, and but again, if you have space technology. You can see through through clouds and rain and stuff like that and blow up anything you want from space. Air power would be really decisive in a war. Okay, we can take Binu, I think.
Yeah.
Let's get over there. Hold on.
Shouldn't be a problem. We have a question that I know the answer to, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. And so, oh my, what? People on the internet choose weird names sometimes. Azerfeed, I think is how you pronounce that. You said you loved EU4 because of the historical aspect, despite the sandbox element. Would you see it possible to have a DLC in Stellaris for a static universe with a background and unfolding story?
Oh, you mean like sort of a fixed setup that has like a set lore and
almost
everything.
like a story mode, but kind of keeping the sandbox aspect of Stellaris.
That's cool, actually. That would be interesting. Yeah, I'll think on that. I don't decide the updates we're going to do. It's my job to make them possible. The creative guys, Martin Anward and the designers, they decide what the contents are going to be. I figure out ways to make it possible with time and budget. But personally, I love the idea. I mean, some people really love the open world sort of sandboxy, like randomly generated galaxy every time, and it's a new story every time. But some people might really dig a sort of more set up, scripted environment where like you don't have a synchronous start, where there's big empires and small scrappy nations and little trade enclaves, and I think that would be quite cool.
I think that's something that people really love about our historical games, where especially in CK2, where you can choose to start as, you know, the king of East Francia, or you can be a tiny duke.
Oh yeah, you set your own victory conditions, really.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm trying to. If you want to play a big empire and conquer the world, you can do that. If you want to be, you know, if you want to be the bishopric of Trier and try to unify Islam, you can do that. You know. Like, it's having multiple, for me as a player. And as a game developer, multiple valid play styles is super important. There shouldn't just be one way to play.
No.
We create a system of rules so that it works in multiplayer, so that in general the player can understand the systems and plan and have a reasonable expectation of success. But we do want to give you as many different ways to enjoy it as we can. Okay, we're whooping these guys pretty decisively here.
I'm gonna land my armies just to finish them off. Really not needed. Nope, they didn't even have time to land.
The Dagger army and the Decepticon army. Robots in disguise.
Yeah. Yeah, people seem to like the idea of sort of non.
Okay, we got I got an Assumption perk slot unlocked actually. Now I wonder if I shouldn't leave this because this is a big choice.
We're coming up on the end as well.
I'll leave this for Martin to choose because he knows his long-term strategy.
You're leaving him a little bit of a gift.
Yeah, well I'll also leave him the gift of a couple of irradiated enemy worlds. Yeah. That we can, you know, like carve our initials in with lasers from the moon.
Absolutely, I think that sounds like a fantastic idea. We are actually out of time. So I think this is the perfect time to stop. We do have a few minutes more, but this is really the perfect time to stop. So thank you, Jamie, for coming. It's been a pleasure having you here. If Martin is sick another time, I hope that you will come back, because the chat loved you as well.
Aw, I'm happy. I want to tell you all, it's not something that I normally do. And oftentimes I do have other commitments, but if it works out, I'd be happy to come back.
Fantastic.
All right, man. Put it there. So we'll see you around.
Thank you. Goodbye.